and she had confirmed it. To prevent R from seeing the scene before them, Kwang Soo quickly got out of the car and stood in front of Zen. Faced with Kwang Soo's strange behavior, Zen was involuntarily affected, assuming that Kwang Soo was confessing his feelings for her. But what was truly surprising was that the oblivious man in front of her only asked if the cake was good, and then watched as Muyol and Gi Bibiam disappeared into the distance. Kwang Soo's series of perplexing actions left Zen confused. At the same time, the salon director was also having complex feelings, all because she had seen a photo of her ex-husband with someone else. When she got home, she quickly asked her daughter if her father had a new girlfriend, even showing her the photo. Faced with the question, "Why are you looking at Dad's picture?" the salon director was momentarily speechless. After all, she and her ex-husband were divorced. He had the right to do whatever he wanted. Embarrassed, she quickly slipped out of her daughter's room and went back to her own. The director couldn't stop thinking about the photo. If you were going to post something, why post a picture of just hands? It was so frustrating. As for Sugi, she also had her own thoughts. Watching her younger sister change her routines in order to lose weight, she wondered if her sister had a new boyfriend, and then she thought about herself. Up to this point, she had never been in love. Tonight, for everyone at the hair salon, it would surely be a long night of restless thoughts. The next day, when he arrived at the salon, Muyol stealthily approached Gi Bibiam from behind, intending to surprise her. But he was immediately berated by Gi Bibiam, who accused him of abandoning her to go with another woman, just like in her dream last night. Then, a female customer at the salon was muffled by a stylist. Zen's action made everyone pause in surprise. It turned out that just moments earlier, when Muyol was being affectionate with Gi Bibiam, a female customer had walked in. Muyol, seeing who it was, panicked so much that he became clumsy, not expecting her to find her way here. Ever since the woman entered the salon, Muyol's expressions had become unnatural. All of this was noticed by Zen. After clarifying the situation, Zen found out that this was a romantic debt that Muyong had accrued at a bar previously. To prevent Gi Bibiam from being hurt, Zen decided to cover for Muyol, immediately vying for the customer with Kwang Soo. However, Kwang Soo stubbornly refused to give up the customer. Seeing that he couldn't win the customer, Zen wandered around with a hair dryer. When the woman was about to talk to Muyol, Zen immediately intervened to help Muyol hide. Zen also risked putting on an act. This is a special service our salon provides for new customers. The time afterward went smoothly until it was time to pay and leave. The woman even tried to look for Muyol, but he had already disappeared. Muyol sighed in relief, thinking everything was over. Unexpectedly, there was another customer outside looking for Muyol. Seeing that he couldn't hide, Muyol had no choice but to go out and ask, "What brings you here?" "I've been thinking about you since I overheard your conversation with that woman." Gi Bibiam's expression froze like a statue. Zen told Muyol to explain clearly to Gi Bibiam, but Muyol didn't know what to do either. After work, Gi Bibiam secretly drove home alone. Sitting in the car, tears streamed down her face. The next day, to comfort Gi Bibiam, Muyol went to her newly rented place, helping her assemble a newly purchased table, and also asked why she had cried yesterday. "Because I really don't know what I did wrong." In fact, Gi Bibiam herself didn't know why she cried. She just couldn't control her emotions. It turned out, after seeing the picture, Gi Bibiam had felt uneasy and very sad. Muyol told her that it was all in the past, and they should cherish the present. Sitting on a bench, Muyol talked to Gi Bibiam about the future. Even though he didn't know what their future would hold, his feelings were genuine. After work, Gi Bibiam led Muyol to a place. Although she always wanted to go there, she didn't have the courage. The woman in front of her was her biological mother. Her mother had left when Gi Bibiam was only a year old. Without too many words, she just bought a few things and left with Muyol. Looking at the items in the bag, Muyol asked, "Is that your mother?" Actually, Gi Bibiam always knew where her biological mother was, but had never visited her. It wasn't that she didn't want to, but that she didn't know how to face her. However, regarding being abandoned by her mother, Gi Bibiam had no resentment, because everyone has their own hardships. A few hours earlier, Kwang Soo, bored, had asked Zen to go out for a drink. He kept trying to persuade Zen to give up on Muyul. Seeing the straightforward guy in front of her, Zen decided to tease him a bit. Why? Why should I give up on him? Kwang-soo thought that dating in the hair salon was bad, and he had also seen Muyol with another woman. Zen asked, who was that woman? Kwang-soo pretended not to know, saying, maybe it was his mother. Seeing Kwang-soo's attitude, Zen felt she had teased him enough, so she asked Kwang-soo directly, why do you think she likes Muyil? Kwang-soo had misunderstood their simple friendship as love. Looking at the clueless guy in front of her, Zen was truly speechless. Sitting in the car on the way home, Zen remembered the time she had met Kwang-soo. She had hinted both intentionally and unintentionally many times, but this clueless guy still didn't understand. It turned out that the two had met at a hair school. From the first time they met, Zen had liked Kwang-soo. To make a good impression on Kwang-soo, she had even deliberately gone to meet him with no makeup on. She asked him, how do I look without eye makeup? His answer was a mere 2 words, simple. Like a bucket of cold water thrown on her, Zen faced this insensitive man, her heart aching, and then she walked away. Sitting in the car, Kwang-soo also appeared in her thoughts. Perhaps she had done something wrong, otherwise Zen wouldn't have said that. He was even more clueless than an artificial intelligence. Before long, the car arrived at Zen's house, but she refused to get out. Kwang-soo asked her, why aren't you getting out? After a moment of thought, Zen decided to confess to this idiot. Go out with me, okay? Is that it? Goodbye. The taxi driver, exasperated, thought he'd never seen such a clueless man. After getting out of the car, Zen called Kwang-soo to eat instant noodles. Kwang-soo immediately said, late-night meals are hard to digest. Was this guy truly clueless or just plain dumb? Facing the taxi driver's scornful look, Kwang-soo felt incredibly wrong. He had no choice but to pay the fare and meekly get out of the car. At this point, Zen was full of joy, while Kwang-soo had an innocent and clueless look on his face. Therefore, we cannot change the past. The only thing we can grasp is the present. The next day, during lunch, Zen accidentally spilled sauce on Kwang-soo's sweet and sour pork. Everyone thought the two would have a heated argument. But surprisingly, Kwang-soo wasn't angry at all. This surprised everyone. Usually, the two were like cats and dogs, but today their personalities had changed. In fact, people didn't know that the night before, Zen had invited Kwang-soo to her house for instant noodles. Their feelings had quickly progressed, but they didn't show it outwardly. Hey, are you two dating? Soo-rai blurted out without thinking. The salon manager quickly changed the subject because Soo-rai was about to be promoted to hairstylist. The manager wanted her to pay more attention to her appearance. However, Soo-rai looked tearful. She didn't think her chubby figure would affect her ability to style clients' hair in the future. In fact, Soo-rai and her younger sister had been chubby since childhood. Their physical education teacher once suggested that the two sisters take up wrestling to change their image in other people's eyes. The two sisters had persistently tried to lose weight, trying everything they could. Although it was somewhat effective at first, the final result was that their weight increased to a record high. Today's lunch became the last straw for Soo-rai. Looking at the last remaining dumpling, Soo-rai said, we can't waste it, or it'll be thrown away like trash. You're also environmentally conscious, right? Those simple 6 words from Zen made Soo-rai feel offended. Her anger flared up. She stood up and pushed Zen, who was thin, aside. Am I that easy to bully? Seeing that the situation was getting out of hand, everyone quickly pulled the angry Soo-rai into the break room. Kwang-soo then stepped forward to help Zen up, feeling that Soo-rai was unreasonable, while Soo-rai felt as hurt as a child. The timid Gi BBM didn't know how to comfort Soo-rai either. Afterwards, the salon manager met with Soo-rai, saying that after this incident, everyone probably couldn't continue working together anymore. To put it bluntly, she wanted to fire Soo-rai. However, this time, Soo-rai firmly refused to budge. The salon manager had no choice but to meet with Zen, hoping she would be considerate of her colleagues and let this matter go. Otherwise, if Soo-rai sued the Department of Labor, everyone would be in a difficult position. Zen suggested resolving the issue with an apology. Soo-rai also agreed to apologize.